Good morning. This is Sri Primo. We keep quickly pivot from basketball that we did a Sweet 16 preview with Dr. Dan, and I've been doing some recaps of the IPL season 2025. Quietly but surely, the moment has arrived in the United States, in America, which is the national pastime. Major League Baseball kicks off the official opening day today, and you have the runner-up of the uh, previous year World Series. You have the New York Yankees um, starting off today, but um, the games have already started. At least, I mean, quietly in the Tokyo, where the uh, major league winners from last year, the Dodgers, um, played against the Cubs. They swept the Cubs. I think they were already up 2-0. So let's quickly go down to set the stage for the 2025 Major League season. The 2024 season was very captivating. As we know, the World Series was a memorable showdown between two of the storied franchises in Major League, the New York Yankees and the LA Dodgers. Um, and the playoffs were just phenomenal to watch, at least for folks who are Dodger fans. Uh, but one of the things that you always see is that, and this has been my pet peeve for Major League Baseball, the salary cap, because you had Juan Soto, who was signed by the Mets for an unprecedented 15-year, $765 million contract, a new benchmark in professional sports, and changing the landscape in the Big Apple. So the Dodgers also made some huge acquisitions. They got Japanese pitching phenom Sasaki and the two-time Cy Young winner Blake Snell. So this solidifies Dodgers' position as a top contender. I'm sure they will be because they have the lineup like no other, both on the pitching side as well as the batting side. Now, what's going to be interesting is that for the Mets, at least, let's see if the Juan Soto signing will help them achieve the glories. But let's quickly go down to some of the things that we want to talk about, and I'll be doing a much more detailed preview with the folks who are way better experts than me. But let's quickly dive down to, I think we talked about Juan Soto. We talked about the Fall Classic from last year. Um, we had a very strong contenders last year with uh, the Phillies, Mets, and Braves in the National League, and the Guardians, Royals, and Tigers joining the Yankees in the American League. The Freddie Freeman iconic performance throughout the series, memorable walk-off in Game One, a lot of parallels between this and the one previously in '88. Um, Again, when you look at it, for the Yankees last year, it was the Judge and Soto show, and then Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers continued to make history. He got the MVP for the National League despite not being able to pitch due to injuries. And in New York, you had even the Mets. They had some great performances, that propelled them to a playoff berth. You got Chris Sale, who was an ex-Red Sox, of the Braves. I think had dominant seasons as well. Um, and again, these are some of the performances we had in 2025. As we go into 2024, sorry. And in 2025, I think I did talk about the huge signing, a lot of movement. Um, and as I mentioned about Sasaki, he's got a 100-mile fastball with a splitter, a lot of upside to already talent-laden Dodgers pitching staff. And then I mentioned about the Blake Snell signing as well. So Boston Red Sox, again, my Boston Red Sox made a significant addition. Let's see if that will work out. They picked up Alex Bregman, 3-year, $120 million deal. Um, you got Alonso still signing with the Mets. Then you had Detroit Tigers adding Jack Flaherty to a huge contract as well. Tanner Scott, 4 years, 72 million. Who else? With the Dodgers, that really helps their bullpen. And then you got Houston Astros also boosting up. So the trade market has been very active during the offseason. The Red Sox also acquired Garrett Crotchett from the White Sox. Uh, Definitely. And then you got Cody Bellinger, who was then outfield or traded from the Cubs to the Yankees. So, and the Yankees also picked up the All-Star closer Devin Williams, um, and that's again a lot of big pickups from a lot of the teams, a lot of movement, as I mentioned. Um, when I think about the contenders, I would say on the National League, you have the Dodgers and the Mets have emerged as some contenders. Thanks to signing for Juan Soto there, and the Red Sox are signaling their intent to compete with the Yankees in the AL East, but they have a lot of work to do when it comes to vaulting over other teams like the even the Blue Jays as well. Um, let's see what happens. I mean, I think it's going to be when I look at all the preseason rankings and things like that. I mean, as I mentioned, those are the teams I currently see. Who knows? A dark horse may emerge from each of the teams, and uh, early predictions for the World Series feature the Dodgers. But again, it's a long season, 162 games. A lot of things can happen. Injuries can happen. So I don't think it's the right time to make any kind of predictions for who's going to be winning the World Series. But at least what we can predict is that which are the teams that are going to be kind of competing and contending for not only the division title in each of the divisions, but also who can actually, or I would say contenders for both the National League and the American League. And those are some of the things that we have going on at this point. The other one quirk that we want to see is that the Rays, we all knew what happened um, to the damage sustained by the Rays home stadium, Tropicana Field. I actually got to see that when I visited Tampa, but they'll be playing their home games at the New York Yankees spring training ballpark, the George Steinbrenner Field, which I also happened to watch when I was in Tampa. So interesting there. So, kind of the Yankees to offer it to the Rays. Unusual circumstance, but I think, and then the same thing with the Oakland Athletics because they're going to relocate to Sacramento at least for 3 seasons before the plan moved to Vegas. And a lot of teams like you already have a major league or NFL franchise in Vegas, so Major League is also going to go to Vegas. So those are some of the things that we have. A lot of compelling storylines going to captivate the fans throughout the year. Um, and let's see, another storyline to watch would be the return of Otani to the mound for the Dodgers. He underwent elbow surgery, so that's another story to watch as well. So of course, I'm more excited about the rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox. That's the ultimate rivalry, and of course, the Dodgers and Padres will continue to have that rivalry in the National League. Also, the Subway Series that'll draw a lot of things with Soto now with the Mets. So these are um, some of the interesting storylines in Major League. Um, let's quickly, I mean, like I said, division wise, I do think from an ALE standpoint, I still think um, the Yankees will win the AL East. And AL Central, the Tigers, AL West, the Texas Rangers, and I think the Red Sox and some of the other teams could battle for the wild card. And then the National League, as I said in the NL, you have Dodgers, and then I do think that the Cubs are going to be a very strong contender, even though they lost the two opening games in Tokyo that happened earlier last week, and then um, let's see what happens in the NL as well. I think those are the two things I would think about it, um, from the standpoint of uh, who's going to win it all. I think in the National League, I think in the NL East, I think I would say the Mets would probably win it. So I would say the Mets in the league in the NL East. In the NL Central, I would go with maybe the Reds, maybe, and the NL West would be the Dodgers. In the American League, I would say Yankees, uh, Twins or Guardians, maybe, or maybe the Tigers. Who knows? Tigers, most probably the Tigers, and then the Rangers. I'm picking the Rangers um, in the West. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to pick the Astros. I think they're that's a little snafu there. But anyway, that's where I see it going, and looking forward to the season. Enjoy. Google turn off work light.